Hey YouTube, we got Elite Crenshaw here. We're gonna have a little review today. I told you guys I was gonna review different things that I own, but this in particular I recently purchased because there was a lot of hype around it. I was looking for something to replace my MacBook Pro, which I recently sold. I love the MacBook Pro, but I wasn't really using it as much with my iMac, and I got the base model, so I didn't have much space. So even when I did want to use it, I had little to no space to do what I would like to do. So I did some research, found this product, and I decided, you know what, guys, this is definitely worth my time. So what if I told you guys that there's a laptop out here with top tier specs, amazing build quality, fast performance? I mean, I could just go on for less than $1,000 than the equivalent MacBook Pro 13-inch. Stay tuned to find out. Here we have the Huawei X Pro, the ultra-thin yet powerful laptop just released in the US a few days ago. Let's go over the specs. It comes with two colors, Mystic Silver and Space Gray, a page right out of Apple's book, but in a good way. There are two versions, the regular version and the Signature Edition, which I have here. In my opinion, the better option is the Signature because you get way better bang for your buck. I'll explain more later. The Matebook X Pro weighs just about 2.7 pounds and is 14.6 millimeters at its thickest point. The screen is 13.9 inches, bigger than most laptops in this footprint due to its amazing 91% screen to body ratio. The screen is 3000 by 2000 with 260 pixels per inch, which basically, in a nutshell, means it's a 3K screen. It's not quite 4K, but at this size, 4K is a bit overkill anyways. The screen can get 450 nits bright, which places it up there with the brightest laptops of its class. You can see it clearly outdoors, though the Corning glass is a bit reflective. Not too bad though, to ease your mind, the screen could be resistant to scratches and minor drops. The screen has a 100% sRGB color gambit, so Photoshop users can really appreciate the screen and its color accuracy. Not to mention that this is a touchscreen with 10-point support. The Signature Edition comes with an 8th gen Intel i7 quad-core, yes I said quad-core, on a thin Ultrabook. It's clocked at 1.8 GHz but with turbo speed up to 4 GHz. There is a 512 GB SSD NVMe PCIe, aka this drive is blazing fast and they give you a great amount of storage, especially in this price point. There are 16 gigs of RAM, plenty enough for the professional user and more than enough for the average user. It has an Intel 620 UHD integrated graphics card that can handle mostly everyday tasks, video editing, light gaming. It's very efficient, but something you don't really see on anything else at this price point with this much power, there's a dedicated GPU, an NVIDIA MX150 with 2 GB of DDR5 RAM. It's not something you can play intense games with on medium or even high settings really, but there's a lot of modern games you can play on low to medium settings with some tweaks. It can handle VR gaming, which is crazy for something so thin and light to begin with. Another important aspect we look for on laptops is the sound. How good are the speakers? Well, you'll be pleased to hear that these might just be the best laptop speakers I've ever heard. Now, I had the MacBook Pro. Previously, those were the best I've heard, and those still are fantastic speakers, top tier quality for a laptop, especially of its size. But there's something about these speakers on the MacBook Pro X. First of all, you get 4 up-firing speakers, but they have slits on the bottom of the laptop that also help emit the sound. You kind of can get a little surround sound effect from the Dolby Atmos feature that they have on here. They get very, very loud, so check out this little sound test of Yes Yes Y'all from Will Smith.
Gonna give it to you. Tell me, now the macaroni's hit it. Check it out for all the tenderonis. Like Jackie and Joni.
Lights, camera, action. The hip hop attraction. Fresh Priggy, John Piggy. Player haters been hitting on my plan for years. Now they seeing their worst fears as I bathe in cheers.
Here hitting on the keyboard, Huawei has found one of the most creative and ingenious ways of hiding your camera. Unfortunately, the camera itself is 1 megapixel in trash, not to mention the angle looks up your nose. Fortunately for most people, webcams on laptops are rarely used nowadays, especially with top tier cameras on our mobile phones and tablets. I believe this is a worthy sacrifice for such a beautiful screen. While I'm not really going to get into technical specs as in terms of benchmarks stuff like that, because there's plenty of other ones online, especially for this processor, I will like to tell you guys from first-hand experience that this laptop is blazing fast. This boots up in less than 8 seconds from power off to on. It has a fingerprint scanner built right into the power button. When you turn the laptop on, it actually remembers your fingerprint from the startup. So all you have to do is push it on and it'll log you in, like I said, from scratch, less than 8 seconds. It definitely has that kind of tablet feel, even though this is not a tablet. I also mentioned that this is a touchscreen. It's very, very responsive. It's very quick. It feels like you're using a tablet, but you still have this very thin, light profile here. When it comes to web browsing, you're never going to run into an issue. I won't say never, but the likelihood of you running into an issue with running out of RAM or too many tabs and stuff is, especially with 16 gigs of RAM here. I do plan on using this for some testing, like some scripting and stuff like that. So I did set up 2 or 3 VMs on here, and I also have VMs running in the background a lot of times on different screens. And I didn't really think it'd be an easy way for me to like switch over from my MacBook. I still do have an iMac, and that's what I'm editing this video on and everything. So this isn't really replacing that, but I can say in terms of usability, Microsoft has definitely stepped their game up with Windows 10, especially this trackpad. If you see here, didn't get to comment on that yet. The trackpad is very large. It kind of reminds me of what Apple's doing on their laptops. Some other manufacturers are doing that now too, but I really like this trend of keeping the trackpads very large. Not to mention it has Windows precision drivers. I don't know if any of you guys have used that yet or really realize you're using it, but when you go from a Windows laptop that doesn't have Windows precision, it's night and day. If you use MacBooks, Apple products, and you know how the trackpads are and how smooth they are, that's the Windows equivalent to that is Windows precision, and it's buttery smooth. I have gestures just like like my MacBook, like swipe up to see all your open windows, and you can create multiple desktops and then use 4 fingers, swipe over to your next desktop. Right now I don't really have any open, but it's just very, 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 very smooth. It's a very smooth experience. There's not any lag or anything like that. Not to mention, as you see, I keep picking it up. It's ridiculously thin and light. We didn't really get to talk about ports, but we'll talk about ports really quick. It has a headphone jack and 2 USB-C ports. One is Thunderbolt capable. Both of them can charge the laptop also. It also comes with a dock that has another USB, HDMI port, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but it did come with a dock, which surprised me because I almost purchased one on the side. I didn't realize there was one in the box. But you can connect that right to your Thunderbolt 3 port, and you can have an external monitor. I believe it has HDMI, VGA. If you guys own any Thunderbolt docks or monitors or anything like that, it is definitely going to work for that, especially with this 8th gen Intel processor. easily gonna handle anything you throw at it in terms of Thunderbolt, including external GPUs. I would love to get one of those one day just to try it out. I'm not necessarily saying I need it, but uh, it is a very, very cool uh, technology nowadays where you don't really need to build a big gaming desktop. I mean, it's not the same, but you can get very, very respectful performance in high-end gaming with external GPUs nowadays. But we're not going to get into that. Little, can you see that here? It's very unique webcam button here. Okay, so let's wrap this review up, guys. If I had to give this a number review, because I'm going to try to do that, I think I would give this laptop a solid, I would say 9 out of 10. It's very close to a 10 for me, especially for everything I'm looking for. There's only a few issues, a few gripes I have. For one, this webcam, even though I said I wouldn't be using it that much, it's so creative and intuitive that they put this here, but the camera is just so bad. I mean, why put this with a 1 megapixel camera? I just don't understand. It's a terrible camera, but a great idea. So whenever they make the Matebook X Pro 2 or whatever they call the next one, I really do hope that they upgrade the camera here with at least one with 4 megapixels, something like a little bit more respectable. Not to mention the angle is a little off, so maybe I don't know, maybe make a button that you can like maybe angle it up a little higher. I don't really want them to shy away from the idea of removing the webcam from the screen, because I think that if you look at this is just mostly screen. This is crazy. Like even at here, you would think that's part of the screen, but it's not. This is the only bezel you can really notice, and that's just necessary because you won't be able to see it anyways. So that's really my only gripe with that. Another issue I have, which is not a big deal, but I would like to do a little bit of video one day and on this, but most of the time you're recording with SD or micro SD or something like that. I would really like a micro SD slot on here. I did purchase like I said, the HP Spectra 360 like last week, before I returned it. That was an awesome machine also. I like this a lot more, but that did have a micro SD, and I was really appreciative of that, especially when it comes to those who like to take pictures and make videos and stuff like that. Like I said, most of my video editing will be done on my iMac, but it'd be nice to have the option to just throw your SD card in here without having to put a long, to connect a dongle or something like that. It's just, I think nowadays a lot of people would at least appreciate one form or another, a micro SD at least. But that's my review of the Matebook X Pro by Huawei. It's an awesome product. I definitely recommend it. No, I was not sponsored by them. I bought this with my own money, so I won't be lying to you. If this is trash, I would definitely say it. But if you're out there, if you're thinking about getting a MacBook or you're saving up to get a MacBook, this is the way to go. Especially right now, you can get this, I believe, for about $1,300. Which, if you want to get a MacBook 13-inch with these kind of specs, you'll be spending at least $2,400. On top of that, one of the amazing things about this is if you are a student or military or something like that, you can go to, I got this from the Microsoft store. You can get a student discount, maybe 100 to 100. I think mine was about 150, but whatever it is at the time, you get a student discount. Not to mention, they have a promotion going on until June 10th, I believe, where you can get a $300 gift card with your purchase, which is what I also got. So not only did I just save over $1,000 from getting the MacBook I was intending to get, I got a $300 gift card to spend in the store, and an additional discount for a product that blows its competitor out of the water in every way. I mean, I just keep looking at this because it really does look like a MacBook. I do get that. Even the bottom, it has the same little rubber like nubs. It's the same color. If this was an Apple logo right here, you would think I was holding a MacBook, but it has so much more in it. It has a dedicated graphics card. It has high-end specs that you would expect on their high-end laptops for a way better price. So this might be the new wave, guys. I know that Huawei has had some issues in the past with security and stuff like that, but personally, Google, Facebook has so much information about us now. I'm just like, I don't really think that's really a concern. If you're like a government official or something like that, I wouldn't recommend using this just because of the issues they had in the past, even if they've cleared them up. But other than that, average consumer, yes, I review this positively. I love this. If you're looking, go out and buy it. If you're not looking, don't buy it yet, but buy it when you're ready. Alright, this is Ali Crenshaw here with Tech Roulette. Hope you guys have a nice day and thank you for watching.